at 10 starts now.
Thanks for staying up with us tonight, everyone. Mississippi is on track to reopen more in the coming days. Governor Tate Reeves making the announcement this afternoon. Courtney Ann Jackson explains what you need to know.
Governor Tate Reeves believes a couple more steps can be made towards reopening before the Safer at Home order expires. Among those, reopening parks and allowing outdoor recreation in groups of no more than 20.
Should be a large enough group to let kids get out and swing a bat or kick a ball or shoot a basket in the sun with their teams.
And restaurants will have restrictions loosened.
There are thousands around the state that are set to close their doors for good. They cannot hold on very much longer.
Starting Thursday, they can reopen to no more than 50% capacity. Servers will have to wear masks. Groups can't exceed 6 people, and each group must be spaced by at least 6 feet. Among the businesses that will stay closed, salons and barbershops. AIMEE Hartley owns the LOFT Salon and Spa in Vicksburg.
We're really wanting to get back to work financially, mentally, physically, emotionally.
Hartley says they have a safety plan ready to use when they get the green light.
The client is willing to come, and the esthetician or barber or stylist is, okay with it. I think they should let us open.
But the governor says his health and legal advice was that they must remain closed.
Instructed my team to come up with a plan to get some stabilization money out to salons and barbers from the CARES Act funds. It won't be enough to make up for all of the pain you have suffered. It's not a replacement for your ability to earn a living. It's just something I can do to help keep you stable.
The complicating factor with that is that the fight is still going on between the legislature and the governor on who has the authority to spend that money.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Now, the governor also talked about his spat with the legislature. The lawmakers passed a bill stripping Reeves of the power to distribute more than $1 billion in federal funds from the CARES Act. The longtime Republican called the legislation reckless action. The governor says the issue centers around power over people.
If you want to make a point, or if you want to come after me personally, go for it. You can make up for every fight over the last 16 years if you want to. I understand that revenge is part of politics, and I'm more than willing to take my licks at the appropriate time. But this is not the appropriate time. Our people are hurting. Our people need help.
Reeves is expected to veto the bill. When asked again today, his reply was, "Wouldn't you?" If voted, the bill goes back to the legislature. Now, it is a bitter battle going on at the state capitol right now. Reeves has his own ideas on what to do with those federal funds, and so do lawmakers. And even those ideas vary. Our Quentin Smith speaks with legislators about their decision.
When it comes to deciding who will be in control of the $1.25 billion the state is receiving, Representatives Gary Chisholm and Sheck Taylor are standing firm on their decisions to not give Governor Tate Reeves full control.
That's too much money for one person to be control of, I really do believe.
Me being a state legislator, I felt very strongly about making sure that my community is heard. If the money is solely in the governor's office, it takes away that very intimate dealing with myself and my constituents, making sure that their voices are heard.
At this time, no decision has been made detailing where the money will be allocated. However, Chisholm says he wants to see the money go to those in the restaurant industry.
Everything is takeout. That's not making enough money for them. They've got to have some more money, so I'd like to see some more money put into restaurants and small businesses that's really been hurt by this.
Meanwhile, Taylor has a number of ideas how the money could be used. The Democratic Party and the Legislative Black Caucus wrote the governor a letter highlighting things such as putting money towards more testing and supplies in the African American community, as well as hazardous pay for essential employees, just to name a few.
We need to make sure that it gets to the people who need it most in a timely fashion and in the amount that needs to be done. We'll figure out the rest as we go along, but number one thing is to help people in the time of need right now.
Lawmakers say they realize the importance of making sure the money goes where it's needed most. Chisholm believes the more than $1 billion will be enough to help everyone impacted.
We'll have to be careful to make sure that we spend it correctly and both in as transparent as it can be, and then have it audited to make sure it went for what it was supposed to be.
If these monies and resources are not formulated to address some of the acute issues that we have in our community, we fail as state legislators.
Lawmakers did give the governor $100 million for immediate coronavirus needs. Reeves has until the end of the week to make a decision about the bill. Nationally, J.Crew becomes the first major retailer to file for bankruptcy protection during the pandemic. It expects to lose more than $900 million. Experts say it probably won't be the last store. CBS's Jerika Duncan has a look at the fight for survival in the retail world.
Macy's, the nation's largest department store chain, opened some of its doors today with noticeable changes. Masked cashiers behind plexiglass protectors, social distancing signage plastered everywhere, and free hand sanitizer for shoppers. The retailer reopened nearly 70 stores today, mostly in southern states with loosened restrictions. Many of the nation's giant retailers like J.Crew are crumbling under the weight of the pandemic. Neiman Marcus, Lord & Taylor, JCPenney, and others are reportedly in talks to file for bankruptcy. Economist Diane Swank says retailers face an uphill battle in convincing customers it's safe to come in.
It's not a field of dreams scenario where you build it or open it and they will come. The reality is that fear is a real factor.
To ease those fears, Costco and Whole Foods announced today that all customers must wear masks inside their stores. And the country's largest malls are providing masks, hand sanitizer, and temperature checks for anyone who asks. But for many, shopping at the mall is still not an option.
Absolutely not. Everybody's opening too soon, too quickly, too soon.
J.Crew's CEO says this restructuring will hopefully help the business and its brands to thrive in the future. But big picture, the National Retail Federation says that this pandemic has caused the retail industry as a whole to lose $1.3 trillion, with a T, trillion dollars in sales. Jerika Duncan, CBS News, New York.
New at 10, a man is airlifted from a scary Lamar County, Alabama accident. The crash happened on Highway 96 just outside of Millport about 4:45 this afternoon. A black car left the road and overturned in someone's front yard. The driver told law enforcement that he fell asleep at the wheel. There's no word on the extent of the injuries he suffered. Alabama state troopers are investigating the accident.
Pretty nice weather out there this evening at 10:09. We've got temperatures right around 70 degrees, the wind fairly light. You may have been able to see some lightning on the northeastern horizon this evening. A big batch of storms rumbling northeast of Huntsville right now, but that is not going to affect our area. Lows will be down into the mid-60s, variably cloudy here. And as we get into our day tomorrow, let's talk about it with your first alert forecast. Yes, there's a chance for a few scattered showers and storms. Will Jesse like it? I don't know. Will we like it? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But there will be a chance for some scattered showers and storms out there. Temperatures upper 70s to low 80s. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
This week, educators are being honored for their hard work. Teacher Appreciation Week highlights the effort they put in the classroom most every day. Our Stephanie Pools speaks to some of these dedicated professionals who have seen those classrooms change this year.
I miss them so terribly. You don't realize how much you miss them until you're not with them every day.
Heather Ford is a teacher at Annunciation Catholic School. In her 24-year teaching career, she didn't think this is how she ended the school year.
Kindergarten is a very hands-on grade. I mean, all grades should have an element of hands-on education, but with kindergarten, it's so much more because they're trying to still get those fine motor skills under control and things like that.
However, Ford says not being able to physically engage with students has helped her get more creative with lesson plans.
On Mondays, I Zoom with my entire class, all 22 5-year-olds. We Zoom and we talk about the subject of the week and we read stories together and we just kind of catch up on each other's lives. And then Every day I send a Loom video out, and then I read a story and I go over whatever the center work is for that day with them and send that, and then they can kind of do that at their own pace.
Kelsey Truitt from Columbus High School is teaming up with other teachers when possible.
You know, I really do miss my kids, but all the teachers here have worked really, really hard together to kind of come up with ways that we can best serve our students. Some teachers have been doing Zoom meetings, some have been doing Google Hangouts.
Truitt says it's all about making sure each child is well prepared when it's time to return to school.
We've called parents, students every single day, and they've done really, really well with reciprocating the feedback. The parents have really stepped up to help them, and all the teachers are just working really, really hard together to make sure our kids are getting what they need to succeed.
We've kind of had to teach ourselves these new things, and not that I don't want to be in the classroom, I do, but I know that if something like this should ever happen again, or if there is an emergency, I now know how to use those tools.
Now, both teachers say their students are performing very well from home, and they hope to soon see them. Teacher Appreciation Week continues through May 8th. Well, COVID-19 is changing graduation ceremonies across the country. Today, Columbus High School hosts a drive-through graduation to celebrate the milestone. Seniors had a designated time to walk across the stage and have their picture taken. They were also allowed to bring 3 family members. Students signed a form promising to finish their school assignments to meet graduation requirements in order to receive their diploma.
I'm so grateful that we were able to see them walk the stage. I've got one that's 18 and I've got an early graduate, so the fact that they were able to walk the stage from adolescence into adulthood together is overjoying.
Hope that we'll of course move down and trickle down to the next family member and decide that this is a great accomplishment and something that students will look forward to doing in years to come.
More than 100 seniors participated in the ceremony. All right, Keith, a nice day out there, but some storms rumbling through the Tennessee Valley.
So close to our area the last 2 days, Joey, but we've been lucky. Look at the last 24 hours, the lightning really prevalent across the northern part of the area or the region here, coming in from the northern plains down into the mid-south, but we've just been south of that. We will have a chance for a few storms tomorrow. Your full forecast is now.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
We do have a chance for some showers and storms in the region on our Tuesday. This is our hour-by-hour forecast for you in West Point. We start out 7 o'clock, upper 60s by midday into the afternoon, upper 70s to low 80s, and a chance for some scattered showers and storms. Some of you could get to about 81. Let's go with 81 in Columbus, maybe a little bit cooler in some other spots here. 79 Tupelo, 75 in Boonville, and for you in the West Alabama too, upper 70s to low 80s. Winds initially from the southwest becoming northwesterly at 5 to 15. So our regional hour-by-hour forecast here in the morning, we are looking at some 60s, a mix of sun and clouds. Frontal boundaries coming on in, so by mid to late morning into the afternoon, we'll have a chance for some scattered showers and storms. There could be some heavy downpours, some thunder and lightning. We don't anticipate any widespread strong or severe weather. Can't rule it out on an isolated basis here, but in general, this frontal boundary will slip on through in a weakened state, and we'll clear it all out by tomorrow evening. So if you enjoyed this evening, you will likely have another one tomorrow to enjoy as well. And really for a couple of days here, a chance of rain, 40% tomorrow, 80% Friday, but 5 out of the next 7 looking really, really good. Here's our time lapse from Columbus, Tupelo, Vernon at Durham's Pharmacy, Louisville, Mississippi. A great day today. Lots of sun, some friendly clouds this evening. I took a little stroll again around downtown Columbus. Lots of people out and about here, keeping their distance, but a lot of people getting out, enjoying the great weather. Lebanon, Missouri today, southwest Missouri, wind and hail damage. That was this morning, but we're talking about this because that storm complex really started to spin up way out there, and the remnants of it, or some of it, now moving through northeastern Alabama. So a long path here from Kansas and Missouri all the way now approaching Georgia. So we missed that. More storms back into Arkansas tonight. We will likely miss out on those 2 tonight because those will fall apart. But the frontal boundary, kicking those off, will move through tomorrow, and that will be responsible for the opportunity for some showers and storms tomorrow. We'll clear that out. Cooler, more stable weather for your Wednesday, Thursday. Looking pretty good here, but later this week into the weekend, some unseasonably cool weather. The front moves through tomorrow, then nice weather for a few days, then another front for Friday, and then some great weather for your weekend. Let's check it out with your AccuWeather 70 forecast. 81 tomorrow, chance for storms. 70s Wednesday, Thursday, pretty nice. Rain and thunder possible Friday. No strong or severe weather, but it will be cooler. 60s. Your weekend, Saturday 68, sunny and cool. Sunday 71, maybe a record low Sunday morning near 40.
All right, thanks, Keith. Well, coming up, it's a childhood disease that can come back to haunt you later in life. We take a closer look when we come back. And if you've ever had chicken pox, then you have the virus that causes shingles. But what are the signs and symptoms? We take a closer look in tonight's Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Dr. William Rosenblatt, part of the internal medicine team at Baptist Memorial Hospital at Golden Triangle. And tonight I'd like to talk to you about shingles. Shingles is a viral infection that's caused when the virus that causes chickenpox is reactivated in your body. After you've had the chickenpox, the virus lies inactive in nerve tissue near your spinal cord and brain. Some years later, the virus can reactivate as shingles, characterized by a painful, blistering skin rash that typically affects one side of the body, either on the face or on the torso. There's an estimated 1 million cases of shingles in the U.S. each year, with 1 out of every 3 people developing shingles at some point in their lifetime. Though most people who develop shingles will only have a single episode, there's some people who develop recurrent cases of shingles. Older adults and individuals with a weakened immune system are at the greatest risk for developing the disease. Some of the signs and symptoms that usually affect only a small section of one side of your body can include stabbing pain, tingling, itching, burning sensation that tends to precede the appearance of the rash by a few days. Headache, fevers and chills, nausea, body aches, and then fluid-filled blistering rash on the torso or face can also appear. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, when we'll discuss the risk factors and complications of shingles.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle.
The winningest coach in NFL history has died. A look back at the life and career of Don Shula when we come back. He was the winningest coach in the NFL's history. Former Dolphins head coach Don Shula has died. Here's more on his life and career.
Don Shula was a legend in the NFL, the only coach to lead his team to a perfect season. The Miami Dolphins went 17-0 in 1972.
He's that kind of guy, the guy that somehow or another got more out of you than you thought you had to give.
With 347 victories, Shula was also the winningest coach in NFL history. The Dolphins released this statement. Don Shula was the patriarch of the Miami Dolphins for 50 years. He brought the winning edge to our franchise and put the Dolphins and the city of Miami in the national sports scene.
It could be argued that this community came together for the first time when the Dolphins, were winning Super Bowl championships.
Shula won 2 Super Bowls for Miami while coaching in the big game 6 times. He was the youngest coach in the NFL when he was hired in 1963 by the Baltimore Colts at 33 years old.
We got to start running with the ball.
Miami beckoned in 1970, and Shula coached the Dolphins for 26 years, retiring after the 1995 season.
This is the day that you never thought was going to happen.
His name still decorates an expressway in the county and a chain of steakhouses. Shula leaves behind 3 daughters and 2 sons who followed in their father's footsteps coaching in the NFL, and his second wife.
I married way out of my league, Marianne.
Shula died at his Miami home.
Here's a toast to the winners.
He was 90 years old. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
For some showers and storms tomorrow and Friday. Aside from that, the 7-day forecast is looking pretty good. A little bit cooler by the weekend, but Joy, a lot of sunshine. This will be our 3rd nice weekend in a row coming up.
Hey, we went through a lot of bad ones to get
sure
here,
did.
so we earned them, right?
Yes, that's right.
All right, thanks, Keith. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Have a good night.